You know, to the handful of affiliates, to some folks in the audience, minority of course, people online who ask me, why do I keep talking about these issues of Marxism, Islamism, anti-Semitism, anti-Americanism, anti-Israel? Why do I keep talking about this? You know, it's an amazing thing. People think this is parochial. That because I'm Jewish, I always talk about Israel and the Islamists. It's really quite shocking to me. Who's committing most of the terrorism around the world? Who? Who's massacring Jews? Who's massacring Christians? Who's massacring Americans? It's just incredible to me. We're not talking about this enough. And who's been pointing out the people who are responsible for this vile poison, the spread, the metastasization of this cancer? I have. Why? Because it'll destroy the West, it'll destroy the United States, it will destroy us, Mr. and Mrs. America. That's why. History proves it. And it's not a joke. And when the history books are written, it'll be you in this audience. It'll be this show that would not be silenced, would not be intimidated, would not be threatened. I don't do things for ratings. We get great ratings, but I don't do them for ratings. I do them because I'm on a mission. Because they're right. Cold comes swiftly to the Ukraine, and for elderly Jews like Olga, it can be deadly. Olga's 79 years old. She lives in a small village where she has no indoor plumbing, bathroom, or reliable heating. But thanks to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, Olga received a nourishing food box, emergency lighting, and a warm blanket. This aid is a life-saving gift for someone like Olga. Now, as another brutal winter begins, thousands of elderly Jews like Olga are praying for a miracle. You can be that miracle. You can be that blessing through a special matching grant from now until December 28th. Your gift today to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews has twice the impact, up to the first $50,000. So please don't delay. To rush your tax-deductible gift, call 844-866-IFCJ. That's 844-866-IFCJ. Or online at levinforthefellowship.org. That's Levin for thefellowship.org. Back in May, I did a program on Fox, highly critical of Iran. I felt the time had come for our country to stop preventing Israel, or put it differently, to give the green light to Israel that wanted to take on Iran and take out those missiles. I was asked, I was invited by the president to speak with him. And I'm not going to get into the details, and I never have. But that apparently triggered Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the rest of the reprobates to unleash. It was always under their skin. It was always in their brain. It was always in their soulless soul. To attack me with lines like neocon or Tel Aviv Mark. Or there's the Jew. Folks, I've been warning for a long time now, a long time, about this cancer, this Islamist cancer. And it turns out, of course, that the leader of the pack, Carlson, is trashing our country, trashing Christianity, trashing Judaism, trashing the West, the greatest generation that defeated Hitler, all in service to Qatar. You see, the way I see it, America, it's not the Reagan supporters, the Tea Party activists, the Convention of State supporters, the Trump supporters. We're all the same people. Those are our values. Those are our principles. We have to defend our civilization. There is a barbarian movement, a primitive movement of 7th century Islamists that are based in, among other places, but particularized in the Middle East. Not Indonesia, not Singapore, where there are hundreds of millions of Muslims, but in places like Qatar. And they're serious about what they're doing. They attack the Judeo-Christian belief system. Our nation is founded on the Judeo-Christian belief system and the Enlightenment. Islamism wants to destroy the Judeo part, the Christian part, and has never gone through the Enlightenment. Their scholars, so-called, many of their imams have talked about, as I've told you, revolution through immigration. It's happening. In fact, it's happened. Ask the people in Britain. Ask the people in France. Ask the people in Sweden. Ask the people in Belgium. Start asking the people in New York, and New Jersey, and Michigan. Ask the people in Texas, in Northern Virginia. We're not talking about Indonesians and Singaporeans. We're talking about Islamists who kill Muslims. The most radical element pouring into our country, pouring into the West. And you have to be deaf, dumb, and blind not to see it and hear it. I've taken more crap for being the point of the spear than you can possibly imagine. The pressures that I come under, and I reject them. Because I'm right. I'm not right because I'm Nostradamus. I'm not right because I'm Aristotle and Einstein. I'm right because I see it. The lies that are being told about our country, our history, our great heroes, our founders, it's all intentional. The lies that are being told about the Israelis as they fight for their survival, surrounded by enemies, Hamas, and the Hamas data being used by the Western media to destroy Israel, to spread anti-Semitism, to spread Islamism, and to destroy our country in the West. Now, why would that be, you ask? And I've explained it. It's the Marxist-Islamist fusion. The Marxist, the radical left agenda in our culture, fused with the incoming Islamist culture. all reject our founding. The American experiment. Our tolerance, our free speech, our freedom of association. You see, we should all be the Christians, the black Christians in Africa. We should all be the Jews in Israel and Australia. We should all be the Hindus who are also under attack by the Islamists, or the atheists. We should all understand what we're facing, and we should unite to fight it. When you have individuals in our country who are preaching on behalf of this enemy, it is diabolical. It's evil. It is diabolical and it is evil. The Democrat Party doesn't see things this way. That's why Omar is a Democrat. That's why Tlaib is a Democrat. That's why the Marxist side, Bernie Sanders, is a Democrat. Elizabeth Warren is a Democrat. That's why Mondami ran as a Democrat. The Democrat Party has never embraced this country. That doesn't mean Democrats out there don't embrace the country. Many do. That's not my point. I'm talking about the ideological leadership of the Democrat Party. There's simply no question about it. The borders were wide open. They knew when you have open borders and you're not vetting, you're going to have terrorists in here. They had to know it. They had to know, the Biden regime and the Democrats, and when they were bringing people in here from Afghanistan and not vetting them, that terrorists would secrete themselves in the population, and they have. And even today, they reject the idea of deportation. Don't let them tell you otherwise. They reject deportation. Only deportation can solve what they've done to our country. Only deportation can allow us to remove the cancer of terrorism, would-be terrorists, radical Islamists from this country. There's no other way. And they reject it. They reject it. The media reject it. The West and our country were already inflicted by Marxism. I called it American Marxism. I wrote a whole damn book on it. Many of you read it. Sold almost 1.5 million copies. And then when you interject Islamism, they have the same goal, the same purpose. You hear people talking about it now. Nobody talked about it 6 months ago. Nobody. But me. And I took more crap for this than you can imagine. They call it the green-red combination and so forth. It's Marxist Islamist. That's what it is. And what they have in common is the destruction of the United States of America, the destruction of the state of Israel, the destruction of all Western society. Marx wants it destroyed. The Islamists want it destroyed. They'll figure out what it all looks like when they're done and see who survives among them. But they're not thinking about that right now. And I have said again and again, I have written that Americanism and Marxism are utterly incompatible. That Americanism and Islamism are utterly incompatible. And I find it interesting when we have some of these buffoons with podcasts on the left or even platforms on cable TV, they call me anti-Muslim. Anti-Muslim? Islamists have slaughtered 600,000 Muslims in Syria, 250,000 Muslims in Yemen, and I'm calling out the people who've killed them. The Islamists.